Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're unlocking Oz and diving into the follow-up everyone's been waiting for, Wicked for Good. If the first film built the world, this one blows the doors off it. We're talking Dorothy's arrival, the wizard's truth, Elphaba's fate, Glinda's choices, Fiero's transformation, Nessarose's turn, and the family twist that reframes everything. There's a reason this story was split in two. The team wanted to protect its heartbeat. As director John M. Chu said, "As we prepared the production over the last year, it became impossible to wrestle the story of Wicked into a single film without doing some real damage to it. We decided to give ourselves a bigger canvas and make not just one Wicked movie, but two." And Stephen Schwartz echoed it. "We found it very difficult to get past defying gravity without a break." What we have discussed is that changes need to be additive. They need to add something to the story or the characters. Before we jump in, hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss our deep dives. Spoilers ahead. Let's go. We pick up right where part 1 left us. After defying gravity, Elphaba escapes and goes underground, branded the Wicked Witch of the West while she fights for animals and tries to dismantle the wizard's machine. Glinda embraces her public role as the good, living in the glare of the Emerald City and under the watchful eyes of the wizard and Madame Morrible. They're still the same girls from Shiz, but the stakes have exploded. Politics, propaganda, and power are in play, and one unexpected arrival is about to shift the entire myth. The core cast is back and leveled up. Cynthia Erivo deepens Elphaba's steel and soul. Ariana Grande's Glinda balances sparkle and conscience, while the ground shifts beneath her. Jonathan Bailey's Fiero is pushed past charm into conviction. Marissa Bode's Nessarose moves from complicated sister to iron-fisted leader. Ethan Slater's Bach finds himself transformed by a spell that goes horribly wrong. Michelle Yeoh's Madame Morrible is precision and menace. Jeff Goldblum's Wizard is charisma covering rot. Bowen Yang's Fanny finally faces the music. Peter Dinklage gives voice to a silenced mentor, and Coleman Domingo connects us to the lion's origin. Wicked for Good doesn't just continue the story, it reframes the Oz you think you know. Here's how the dominoes fall. Elphaba has seen the wizard's con and Morrible's methods up close. She's done negotiating. Her mission is simple and impossible. Expose the lie, protect the defenseless, and free those robbed of their voices, starting with a former professor who can no longer speak for himself. Back in the Emerald City, Glinda learns how heavy good can feel when your image is being used to sell a story you're not sure you believe. Fiero, promoted and paraded as the face of order, watches the city choose headlines over truth. It strains all three, the old Shiz triangle, until the mask finally cracks. The romance lines snap into focus here. The fandom debate has always been Glinda and Fiero versus Elphaba and Fiero, and part 2 answers it. When Elphaba returns to confront the wizard about what's being done to animals, she uncovers how deep the cruelty goes. Fiero helps her escape, a decision that doesn't just show where his heart is, it detonates the life he's been living. Their duet, As Long as You're Mine, becomes a stolen breath before the storm, a last taste of joy that makes what's coming hurt even more. Nessarose is the turning point nobody can ignore. After Governor Throp's sudden death, she takes power in Munchkinland. The kindness we glimpsed earlier recedes. Control takes over. Her obsession with keeping box spirals, and when Elphaba arrives hoping to help, she enchants their mother's shoes to empower Nessa. What follows is catastrophe. A desperate love spell misfires, and Elphaba saves Bach the only way she can, by transforming him into the Tin Man. That's the birth of a legend, and the moment Nessarose hardens into the Wicked Witch of the East. Then the sky breaks. Madame Morrible, who can bend the weather, weaponizes a storm. The plan isn't just to lure Elphaba with rumors, it's to make the rumor real. Dorothy's farmhouse drops into Munchkinland and kills Nessarose. Glinda, trying to keep Oz from ripping itself apart, passes the enchanted shoes to the Kansas girl. Elphaba returns, sees the wreckage, and everything shatters. The sisters' story ends in grief. The friendship fractures in rage and blame. And Fiero rushes in to shield Elphaba, only to be captured. That's the spark that lights Elphaba's fiercest spell. No good deed is where the mask fuses to the face. Believing Fiyero has been tortured to death, Elphaba casts a desperate protection spell so no harm can touch him again. The cost is transformation. The man who danced through life becomes the Scarecrow, preserved but changed. To save him, she lets the world see him as something else entirely. And in that moment, she embraces the title the city keeps throwing at her. If they insist on calling her wicked, she'll wear it like armor and do the good they won't. Meanwhile, the Emerald City's glitter peels back. Animals are to be seen and not heard. Wonderful is a set piece for a con. Glinda finally confronts the wizard and Madame Morrible with a green elixir bottle in her hand and the truth in her mouth. The wizard isn't just a fraud, he's bound to Elphaba by blood. That elixir ties back to Melina and a hidden father who used illusion to build his reign. Glinda acts. She banishes the wizard, exposes Morrible, and flips the board. It should feel triumphant, but it's drenched in loss because the price of clarity was everything they loved. And still, the friendship endures. Wicked for Good gives the last word to the bond that started this all. Elphaba and Glinda meet once more, not as a headline and a villain, not as rivals, but as the girls who changed one another. They sing For Good, the quiet, aching promise that gives the film its subtitle, and it lands like both goodbye and blessing. Then Elphaba stages her own death, letting Oz believe the water destroyed her while a hat, a scream, and smoke complete the illusion. Glinda is left with leadership, truth, and the weight of knowing what really happened. For good. Now let's zero in on Dorothy because her role is the secret spine of the finale. She isn't the protagonist here. She's the catalyst. Her presence is pivotal and symbolic, and the film commits to that. She appears at key moments in Part 2, but her face is never shown, a choice designed to preserve Oz's mystique and keep the focus where it belongs, on Elphaba and Glinda. John M. Chu has been plain about why she is a pawn. I didn't want to step on who you think Dorothy is in whatever story that you came into this with, explaining that the sequel is still Elphaba and Glinda's journey and she is a pawn in the middle of all of it. Cynthia Erivo loved that decision. I think that's such a wonderful thing to do, because then everyone gets to keep the Dorothy that they know. Ariana Grande leaned into Glinda's complicated energy around Dorothy too. I love the little bit of shadiness that Glinda has towards Dorothy, and there's a lot going on, and she doesn't really have time to deal with this. She could have told her to take the Emerald City train, but she didn't. That's a little shady, Glinda. So I leaned all the way into Glinda sort of having an eye roll for Dorothy whenever she has to deal with her. On screen, that means Dorothy moves the plot without taking it over. She's welcomed by Glinda in Munchkinland. Elphaba glimpses her alongside the Tin Man, Scarecrow, and Lion. She has a short exchange with the wizard in the Emerald City. She turns up during the March of the Witch Hunters, and she's captured by the flying monkeys to ratchet up the stakes. The poppy field detour is gone. The melting plays in shadows, just like the stage show, so we focus on what it means, not the splash. The last image of Dorothy quietly lifting the broom underlines the theme. She's leverage in someone else's game, convinced she's just on an errand home. And yes, the mystery extends to casting. The studio hasn't officially confirmed who plays Dorothy because, on screen, no face appears. Irish actress Alicia Weir has been the most persistent fan favorite rumor, but that remains speculation. The anonymity is the point. It honors Judith Garland's legacy without stamping a new definitive image and keeps the camera locked on the women whose story this truly is. Wicked for Good also tightens the Oz origin threads. We see how the Tin Man, Scarecrow, and Lion become the trio Dorothy meets on the Yellow Brick Road. Bok's rescue in Munchkinland births the Tin Man. Elphaba's spell preserves Fiyero as the Scarecrow. Brrr ties the Lion directly to the witch's story. Dorothy arrives because Morrible conjures a tornado, not by random fate. And the shoes Glinda passes on aren't just a wardrobe piece, they're a Throp legacy that ultimately helps expose the wizard. When Glinda confronts him, the green elixir forces the final truth. He's Elphaba's biological father. That revelation reframes every cruelty he sanctioned and every lie he told. Dorothy isn't the center here. She's the match that lights the powder keg and exposes rot already there. That's the secret twist. Not who Dorothy is, but what her presence reveals about everyone else. If you're here for romance, you'll get it. Elphaba and Fiero's bond becomes the soul of the back half, and Glinda's heartbreak hums through every public smile. If you're here for lore, it's all connected now. The shoes, the trio, the bucket, the wizard's secret, the staged melting, the banishment, and that duet that turns a friendship into legend. And if you're here for the music, this is the act that hits you with power and pain in the same breath. That's Wicked for Good, a sequel that doesn't just end a story. It explains the myth everyone thought they knew and asks who gets to write history in the first place. Thanks for watching. Comment your favorite Wicked character and your favorite Wicked song. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a new breakdown.